Hello everyone, Vito say pretty back with another how to play. Today we're gonna how to play Paperback by Tim Fowers and Fowers Games. And it's all about books and novelists. In fact, the whole box is designed by books. It is not the best design in my opinion because it's just weird to stack the cards in there, but it is what it is. It could have been designed better, in my opinion. There is apparently a new version or two coming out in the near future. So be on the lookout for that. And they use this whole novelist page turner, obviously a play on those words for this game. What you're trying to do is you're playing as novelists who are writing paperback novels for fame and money, of course. And whoever has the most fame at the end of the game, rhymes, wins. You get a bunch of cards in this game, and they're broken up into two different values. Now, there are some abilities on some of these cards and some attacks. It says if it's your first game to remove attack cards, such as this one, but we'll just leave it there. Cards range in price from 2 to 10 cents. Obviously, those ones you're not going to be able to get until later. You also have these novels written by the infamous page turner. And these are basically wild cards. They can be used as any letter. This is a deck building game, very similar to another game I did recently called Lexicon, except with a novel theme. These are going to be up here. There's going to be a certain amount depending on the amount of players. I've already set that up. And they range from, you got 5 cents, 8 cents, 11 cents, and 17 cents is the cost, which is expensive. But they got point values, fame values for the end of the game. So this one's 4 points, so 4 stars. And it's a bunch of those. Some of them are 7. Some of them are 10, and the most expensive ones are 15 points. The letters, they don't have any points that I can recall. But you do have these cards as well. You start off with some fame cards that are worth 1 star. And these are your starting hands. You're going to get 5 of these. They can be any letter. And you also have RSTLN, no E. This is not Wheel of Fortune. And those are all worth 1 cent. And I believe actually there's going to be a setup for that. Yeah. We'll just put that here, starting decks. I believe you can buy some of those up as you go. And it actually has this little informational card that tells you how to set up, depending on the player count, how many cards you're going to have for the fame piles. There's also some special cards here, some power cards. You would hand these out at the beginning. Each person would get a different special ability. And there's also some award cards you get at the end of the game. So if you have the fewest ones in your deck, you gain this card. It's 5 points. Whereas the most cards in the deck gains this card, so forth. And there's also, you can do these themes. So if you have words that fit this, if you have a word that fits a Western theme, you get these bonuses. For instance, this is paranormal. I guess if you make any words that kind of fit that, you can get those. You don't have to play with those. Those are kind of like special cards that you can add in. You also have these common cards. There's actually a space bar. This lets you create 2 words. And this lets you reverse a two-letter card. We're not going to use those for now. But you're going to stuff up 4 common letters and put them here on this common pile. You can see you got 7 letters all the way to 10 letters and game end. This is how you're going to count the rounds. Starting off with this, if anyone during the game spells a 7-letter word, they get to take this letter, which is worth 5 points, and add it to their hand. And then we're going to drop this to 8 letters. And you're going to keep going until these have all gone, and then you're going to get to your last round. That's basically your round timer, if you will. And you will eventually get there. So you're obviously going to shuffle up your cards to start off with. These are good quality stock and finish, limited finish. I apologize if you hear some noise in the background, some vacuuming. That was unscheduled. And this is, like I said, if I didn't mention, it's a deck building, word building game. So you're going to be doing the following in this order on your turn. First of all, you're going to discard any attack cards that you played during your previous round. If you use attacks, which is an expansion, you're going to then create a word. Each player is going to draw out 5 cards to start off with. And he's going to do the same thing. And I'm going to spell a word. Let's say I spell rest. And now what I'm going to do is check the length. It's a 4-letter word. Resolve any abilities, score the word, buy cards, discard my cards, and redraw 5 more cards. I'm going to discard that one. And first thing you're going to do is you're going to create the word, you're going to check the length. And I should mention, actually, you can use this card. This is a common card. It's available to everyone. So I'm going to, instead of making rest, I'm going to make rest ed. I'm well rested. Because it's more cards. I get 6 cards that way for the length. If you have a card that has 2 letters on it, there's some that have 2 letters, that counts as 2 letters. In case you're wondering. If it's equal to or longer than what it says on the common card track there, the 7 letters, you get to take that letter and advance the game. It's not, it's only 6 letters, it's not 7 or more. I would resolve any abilities. I don't have any abilities right now. And I'm going to score up the word. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I can buy a 4-cent card, or I can buy a 3-cent card, or 2-cent cards if I want. I could also buy these ones if I wanted, if I could afford that. And actually, I made one little tiny forgetfulness. For these ones, you're going to have access to 2 letters. There now, it says it's going to be the setup. You're going to have these stacks of different valued letters. Only 1 is available for 2 cents, and 2 for each other. Forgot about that. I should also mention these cubes, they're not used in the base game, they're for advanced game stuff, which we're not going to get into. So I'm going to buy a card. I got 4 points. I might as well buy SC. Why not? 2 letters instead of 1. I'm going to take this, put this onto my discard, and I'm going to draw back up to 5 cards. Now my opponent's going to go. I don't know how he got this here, or it's mine. I think that's mine. My opponent's going to go. He's going to do the same thing. If this goes, you're going to refill it, as an example. And yeah, you keep going through the game like that until you've gotten to a point here where you're at the game end. And you're probably going to have some of these as well in your hand. And you're going to score up your points. Whoever has the most points wins. It's a pretty cool little deck building game. I like the idea of using words building to build up your deck and buy new letters and get more points and stuff like that. It's a cool idea for a deck building concept. Um, Now, actually, the cubes, it's an optional rule. What you can do is, on your turn, if you don't like, I don't like this hand, I don't want to use it, I can discard it and grab a cube. And this gives me the nice little wooden cubes. It gives me 1 cent that I can use in the future for a purchase, if I want to do that. You can also use the cubes as rewards for advice from other players. So if somebody says, hey, you should do this as advice, you can get a cube. And apparently you can also use the cubes as discount tokens. So if I purchase this card, for instance, and we put that on there, and this is going to be 1 cent less. And that's that. There's some other optional rules. There's also a co-op mode you can use. It's a pretty interesting game, good quality components. The box could have been designed differently, in my opinion. But that is that. Comment, like, subscribe. I know what you think. That is paperback. Hopefully I covered everything more or less. Pretty self-explanatory. And again, like I said, there's different abilities on different cards. Some attack cards you don't have to use if it's your first time. And yeah. Comment, like, subscribe, and what you think. We'll see you next time. Well, thanks for watching. See ya.